Okay. Welcome to Twilio Autopilot, build a chatbot with machine learning. Woo. Sorry about that. It is 8 a.m. here. And I haven't used Hopin in a while. Since probably ShellHacks in March. It's been a while. Okay. I'm Lizzie. I'm a developer evangelist at Twilio. And I focus primarily on machine learning. And I'm a JavaScript and iOS developer, but I have been seen writing Haskell and Python, woo, which is especially handy for machine learning. Okay. Well, I'm based in San Francisco. Used to go to a lot of hackathons when I was a student, so big fan. Today, we'll be going over the difference between AI, ML, and DL, also subsets of ML and the different use cases, particularly pertaining to communication applications. We'll go over how to enhance your Twilio or communication apps with ML, some vocabulary, and of course, Twilio Autopilot and building a bot with that. So, to start off with the meme, jokes aside, AI is more than if-else statements. Although here's a secret, sometimes I do use conditionals to make my chatbots, but we will not do that today. We will see how you can build a bot with Twilio Autopilot that makes it easy to handle user input without conditionals. Yes, I really like that meme. Okay. And I will just check Hopin if there are any questions. Okay. I only have 2 screens, so I cannot see questions right away. Okay. What's the deal with AI, ML, and DL? Artificial intelligence, or AI, can be defined in multiple ways, particularly as an automated system able to analyze data and make choices autonomously. So, this is what often leads people to connect AI, or artificial intelligence, to chatbots. Machine learning, or ML, is a subset of AI that uses algorithms to parse data, learn from that data, and make decisions based on that data and what it has learned. Deep learning, or DL, is a subset of ML and thus a subset of AI. Ooh, subsetception. That was like I think it's discrete math, and we kept learning about like subsets, and it was like subset of a subset of a subset or something. Subsetception. Anyways, deep learning is the subset of AI that structures algorithms in layers to make an artificial neural network that can learn and make intelligent decisions on its own. While both machine learning and deep learning fall under the broad category of AI, deep learning is what powers the more human-like artificial intelligence. Natural language processing, or NLP, is the cornerstone of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and linguistics. So, this is nice for you humanities people. There is something that combines a lot of different fields. And I kind of like that about AI. Anyways, NLP is where you decipher, understand, and make sense of human languages in a manner that is valuable. Many NLP tasks make life easier for your users, such as spam detection, question answering, autocomplete, predictive typing, detecting toxic messages, I don't know why that did that, detecting toxic chat messages like in the Twilio chat app, and more. And a subset of NLP is natural language understanding, or NLU, which is the processing chain that makes sense of the phrase. This is where the intention of text is identified. Now we'll go over some fairly common ML vocabulary. Actions in weak AI are pre-programmed by a human like you and me and are trained for a single task and can only merely simulate human behavior. Examples of weak AI include navigation systems, character recognition, and suggestions for corrections in searches. Some other examples would be like AlphaGo, the system that plays Go, or Deep Blue, who plays chess. And let me tell you, we could all beat Deep Blue at chess. Oh, checkers. We cannot beat it at chess, because that's what it was trained for. On the other hand, Strong AI uses more complex algorithms to help it better act in different situations. They have a mind of their own. When presented with a situation they do not know or is unfamiliar with, they have enough intelligence to come up with a solution. And strong AI does not really exist yet, but examples might include Skynet, Terminator, C-3PO. So we have chatbots, which can converse and communicate with users based on how it's been programmed or trained. But guess what? Chatbots can be limited and they do get stuck. Have you ever ordered a pizza via phone with a bot and try to change your order? That can be challenging because it's like you get to a certain step and then like you're like, oh, just kidding, go back or something. But we will see how we can handle that with Twilio Autopilot. In cases like answering questions or FAQs, bots can also help with answering FAQs, playing you a song or telling you the weather, handling restaurant orders, scheduling an appointment, and more. Woo. How to enhance your communication apps with machine learning. Okay. We have computer vision, a field of AI that trains computers to interpret and understand the visual world. Machines can accurately identify and locate objects and then react to what they see using digital images from cameras, videos, and deep learning models. Image classification is like saying, that is pizza in an image, whereas object detection would like identify the object's location, how many of a certain object are in an image. You can also perform pose detection, facial recognition, which is not very secure. Would not recommend. You can also detect if someone's wearing a mask or touching their face, which I still do a lot. So many applications and companies that are working with computer vision. Okay. Here we have real-time analysis of a phone call using Google Cloud to extract information or keywords from a long phone call or document. You can perform document summarization, speech recognition, and yes, that song is Lizzo. Had to fit Lizzo in there somewhere. So, what is Twilio Autopilot? Well, Twilio itself provides APIs for communication. So if you're building an app in Swift, JavaScript, Python, C#, C++, etc., and you want your app to send and receive text messages, make and receive phone calls, video calls, have in-app or in-browser chat, two-factor authentication, you use our APIs to make your life easier. So you can code less. We provide functions that make it easy to add communication. So Autopilot is a bot building platform where you build a bot once and then deploy it across communication channels. And Twilio handles most of the machine learning on the back end for you. So you don't need to necessarily understand it at a low level, but it isn't very common with many machine learning tools. Like I was using TensorFlow a few months ago. I've been busy, so I haven't touched TensorFlow really. And I was like, I kept having to Google like vocabulary and functions. And I was like, I thought TensorFlow was easy. It is not easy. It is a steep learning curve. Okay. So there are 3 core components of Twilio. It handles the NLU or natural understanding backend, so you don't have to worry about it. Performing and providing intent recognition, entity extraction, speech recognition, and providing custom entity models so that your bot will have the intelligence to understand everything your customer or the user is saying, including, and here is where you don't need your conditionals to understand user input, including all permutations and combinations of ways to say the same thing. But at the same time, if your bot does not understand the customer, which is always going to be a possibility, AI is not perfect. Your bot needs to have the flexibility to escalate to agents from different channels. Like you can build a bot on Messenger, Slack, phone, text, chat, Alexa, Google Assistant. I feel like I'm missing more. Lots of different channels. And let's say when your bot does escalate to an agent, the agent is empowered to provide all the information in the most seamless way possible while holding the context of past conversations. Okay. An Autopilot bot is made up of tasks, which are like what you want your bot to accomplish. You can think of tasks as representing customer goals or user outcomes. Here, we have a make appointment task that would help a user make an appointment. You can help connect to the hospital, like if I'm on a phone and I'm like, connect me to the person or like the nurse or like someone at the front desk. Get today's staff. Well, who's the doctor on staff today? Oh yeah, this is like a DocBot. I like the name DocBot. It kind of rhymes. Greeting, goodbye, and different fallbacks for which are the tasks that will run if the bot gets stuck. Okay, how do tasks run? They are triggered by samples, which are words or phrases, or real examples of how users would state their goals. So this is much easier than using conditionals to detect specific words. And the ML is on the back end here to recognize that there are different ways of saying the same thing. So we have to trigger the make appointment task. You could train it on a sample like plan an appointment, visit hospital for an appointment, see doctor, reservation, and more. Of course, there are many different ways of saying the same thing. Okay. How are tasks programmed? Tasks are programmed using JSON actions that can say or send back text, collect answers in a series of questions, listen, so like keep the dialogue open while the user is thinking or looking something up, or if the task ends and you want to go to a different task, you can redirect to a different server or an application to handle the input, save it to a database, call an external API. You can remember old context, old dialogue, old user input. You can display an image if it's like chat or text. If it's a phone call, you cannot show an image or text on the user screen. And of course, you can hand off. So that's where if your bot gets stuck, you can also hand off to a human. And that's more of a hybrid bot. That's called a hybrid bot because you have the bot, but then you also have the human aspect. Okay. Actions can be static or dynamic. Static actions could be like a say action followed by a collect with 2 questions, where you ask 2 questions and then you collect 2 answers, kind of like in a survey. And then here you also redirect to a different task, or you could redirect to a different server. And this is all from the Twilio Autopilot console from the JSON actions bin. And we will see this very soon when we build a bot in my console in my browser. Dynamic actions, you can use Twilio functions here, which is our serverless environment for Node apps. You can also use another server. You can write Python, but for Twilio functions, it needs to be JavaScript. So here we write JavaScript to do the same thing as the last static action, but it's JavaScript, not JSON, and it's adding in, you guessed it, a dynamic aspect. So it says, well, it takes in user input and then it responds with the user input. And we will see that again when we build a bot in a few minutes right now. Okay. You can, of course, edit your default settings. You can change the voice used in a phone call. There are different Alexa voices to choose from, like Polly, Joanna, Matthew, and those are kind of like common names if you build voice assistants. You can change the validation methods, messages for collect. So you can see, I didn't get that. What did you say? I still didn't catch that. Please repeat. And those were different messages to say, well, I didn't get that. So to validate the message. You can change the maximum attempts before it's a fail. And you would like redirect to a task or point to a server, or I don't know. But the maximum number of attempts of those on failure messages. Okay. You can also perform contextual handoff to contact centers. And something I think is pretty cool about Autopilot is that it integrates with a lot of Twilio products besides SMS and voice and Twilio functions. This in particular is Twilio Flex, our programmable call center product. Twilio Studio is our drag and drop UI tool for building apps without coding that uses widgets. So here we have an Autopilot widget. Okay. And now it is time to build a chatbot, and I will check the chat. I'm gonna, how do I, where's my mouse? Do we need anything to build the bot? If you could have a Twilio account, and there is a promo code, ShellHacks 2020. I'm going to drop a what's it called? Blog post. Oh, promo post. How to apply a promo code. I activated your Alexa. Oh my gosh, that happened in this talk I gave in June. I love activating Alexa. Do you need anything to build the bot? Just make a Twilio account. This is recorded, I believe, so you can build it later. Siri does count as an AI bot. You will not get any certificates for attending this workshop that I know of. Okay, so I will share my screen again. Need to share all my tabs, get my tabs in the right area. Okay. Sorry. Where do I put the code? If you read the blog post, it's something like which blog post? I haven't applied a promo code myself in a while. Oh, if you go to your Twilio console, twilio.com/console, and then click Upgrade Project. And I'm currently using my upgraded account because I work here. So I have not seen an upgrade account in a while, or upgrade project. But I used to, because I used to go to hackathons as a college student, and I would see Twilio. And I did not pay for it. I only used promo codes. Okay, so here we are in twilio.com/console/autopilot. I love the coffee mug. It is tea. Thank you. It's also an owl. I like owls. And an owl is actually kind of like Twilio's mascot, because we have a company like motto called Draw the Owl, like the meme. Okay. And you do not need to like follow along with me. You can just like watch. Okay. So we're going to go to create a bot. And there are pre-trained templates, which include ready-made, not bots, but like your bot would come with ready-made templates. Oh, what does a template mean? It's still like really early here, but I'm not gonna blame that. Okay. But it comes with tasks, like pretty common tasks, and the tasks have already been trained on samples. But you know what? That's no fun. Let's start from scratch. So we add our own tasks and samples. And let's call this ShellHacks 2020. Woo. Where is everyone watching from this morning? I kind of wish I was in Florida. I really miss Disney World. Not that I go that often, but I was there last year for Grasshopper. Okay. Oh, Miami, that sounds fun. But I wish. Oh, Orlando, goals. Okay. Okay, so here we have our bot, and it says create tasks for your bot. Let's play around with the greeting first. The greeting task is what is initially triggered. And I could say that this is like nice best practices. You know, this bot says, hello, what can I help you with today? But how does the user know what your bot can do? You should set expectations by saying what your bot can do. So we're going to be making a bot. This one is themed with the Most Icy Cantina, which is Star Wars themed. Any Star Wars fans in the chat? And I'm just typing out a welcome to the most SC cantina of scum and villainy. And that is a quote from the fourth movie, I guess the original. And then we're going to say, I can provide, I'm going to make this bigger. I can provide, what can the bot provide you? Today's specials, which will be another static task, just like written JSON, what can you order, what is recommended, can connect you with the host, which is using the handoff action. So that's the hybrid task. That's like saying the bot has gotten stuck, and the user wants to speak with like someone who is not a bot, connect you with the host, or help you make a reservation. Let's say you want like 5 people, 5 bots, 5 Ewoks, I don't know, to like eat together on Saturday, August 22nd past, October 22nd or something. Okay. And then we set listen to true. So if we do not have listen, then I guess the dialogue would close and the phone call would end, and you would lose some of your context. So your bot would kind of like start over. Okay. That is our task, greeting task, but let's train it. So let's switch to train task of what people say to trigger the task. And because it is the greeting, it's already been trained by Twilio. Twilio added these like for us. How nice of them. Like, hey, what can you do? Sup, yo, hi there, hello, what's up, what do you do? Hey, and more. And we can test this in the simulator. We can say hello. Or, you know, hello is kind of basic. I'm blinking a bit. What up? Hip for the kids yet? What up? No, what's up? Okay, there we go. I tried. So we have our greeting task. Let's make our today's specials task. And of course, you can make whatever tasks you would want for your bot or for your hack. Let's add listen to true to keep it open. And again, we're writing JSON, which is JavaScript object notation. Nice. Well, okay. Today's specials include bantha milk, root leaf stew, and Java juice. I wonder if Java juice, what that contains. And if you haven't seen Star Wars, Java is like, how do you describe Java? It's like a creature on Tatooine, which is like Luke Skywalker's home planet. Okay. Then we're going to switch to train, and we're going to add some samples. Feel free to shout them out if you have any ideas of what would trigger this task. What is good? What do you recommend? And you can also add all of your tasks at once using the Twilio Autopilot CLI, which I will link here afterwards. But for now, if you're using the console, it will just add, you just have to add them all at once. You have to add them one at a time. What do you recommend? What are today's specials? What is the day's specials? Honestly, that would probably like be inferred from the machine learning backend based on how similar it is to what are today's specials. Same with recommendations. What else? The Twilio promo code, as soon as you add it to your account, it will be there forever until you use it all. It's, I think, $25 or $30 worth of credits. And if you buy a phone number, which we will do soon, that's $1 per month. $25. Thank you. but if you do not add it to your account, it will be good for 1 month. So like add it before 1 month is up. Recommendations. What do you recommend? What do you like? What should I order? Anything for Thirsty Mandalorian? Oh my gosh. Where do you input sample questions? You input samples. So in tasks, and that would be under train. Or if you went to your task from programming it, you could also just switch to the train task. And now you may see that our edits need a model build. And this happens when we add samples. So you need to build the model to add the samples to like the Twilio's ML backend. And the code is ShellHacks 2020. That is correct. So the model is built and the training is up to date. We can continue to use the simulator. And we will hook it up to a phone number very soon. Okay. And now let's say, what do you recommend? I'm trying to like do text that is not exactly what I trained it on. Okay, there we got our recommendation. We also tested as a phone call. Wait, I just realized you can't hear what I'm hearing, but it was giving me the greeting task. And of course, you can also test it as a voice phone call in your simulator. And now let's go to channels. And here is where we see all the communication channels we can put it on. The bot only is English for now. That's a very common question because Twilio has a lot of customers internationally and they're like, can we use Mandarin or Spanish? And we're like, no, it's being worked on. Okay. So we're going to go to my Twilio console and we're going to make a voice bot. And how does that work? Let's go to phone numbers. And we're going to buy a phone number. So you can all text in, call in, buy a number. And this is where it costs $1 a month. But because you came here, you got a promo code, so you're saving money. Okay, yeah, I know Tagalog bot. That sounds really cool. I've never heard that being suggested at a hackathon. Okay. You can search for numbers that contain different digits based on different locations. Let's get Florida, because I wish I was in Florida right now. Well, how did that? Oh, that's number. Locality. Locality. Okay, Florida. Okay, Winter Haven sounds very familiar. I don't know why. I'll be charged $1 immediately, but your promo code will cover that. And this has voice, fax, SMS, and MMS capabilities. Woo! Good for the lolos and lolos. Lol. Okay, so we have our phone number. And how Twilio works is when someone calls your number or texts into your number, Twilio will respond with a webhook that contains TWIML or Twilio XML. And that's our markup language that gives directions on what to do with the inbound message or the inbound call. In this case, you want to point it at our bot. So we're going to go back to our Autopilot console and grab this programmable voice URL. Round tab. For when a call comes in, go there. And while we're at it, we're going to make it a bot. We're going to copy this programmable messaging URL. And this will go when a message comes in. Okay, so let's save that. And now you could call this number and you would get the greeting in today's specials. Feel free to call or text. But we will make this bot better. So what's next? We have to go back to tasks, add a task, and let's do make reservation. Okay, this is a very complicated process. So first we have our actions array. Now we're going to use a collect action. This will collect answers to these questions. Let's give it or collect below a name, call it make reservation. And as a questions array for asking a series of questions. And that's, yes, we're getting to the property question. And before we break Twilio, Jose Hernandez, what do you mean? Question. Our question will use a say, which will either speak out the question or text back the question. Great. I can help you with that because we are being polite. What's your first name? That is important for making a reservation. Name. And this is just the name of the question. We can like reference the question, reference the answer. And then we also have a type because we are expecting back an answer of type first name. So Twilio has some built-in types first name. So if you send something that's not a first name, it'll be like, try again. Okay. We'll get to the on-complete. Okay. All right. Okay. JSON kind of gets me all these brackets, but I'm like, where do they come from? All right. Question. What day? And I will also send all this code at once. It's on GitHub. What day would you like? I can't type. Would you like your reservation for? Oh, that should have brackets. Call it. You guessed it, date. And it is expecting a type. Oh yeah, I cannot type. Type. Twilio date. There's still time. Lol. Okay. So this is again JSON, but we will connect it to some JavaScript. Oh, I need to say. Okay. I need to say. I swear I'm usually more on top of things, but Twilio's Signal conference is coming up next week. Been very busy prepping for that. So it is still 8 a.m. here on a Saturday. I'm in San Francisco right now, and I do not usually wake up before 10 a.m. So you are all very special. I will not wake up for anyone, just anyone. Okay. Okay. For how many humans, Wookiees, birds, Dawas, life forms? That sounds very Yoda-esque. Lol, heart. Thank you. Okay. I did not wake up from my manager when he asked at 9 a.m. That probably would have been good of me. Name. Party size. Party size. Type. Twilio number. And you can, of course, add in your own like types. Train it or like make one about pie or something. Like different types of pie. I don't know. Okay, and then on complete, what do we do when the bot has asked all the questions and the user has answered them all? We're going to redirect. And this is where you could redirect to a server if you're hosting your own server. But of course, we're using Twilio functions, which host the server for us. I'm very lazy. I like to take advantage of developer tools. Okay. So we're going to go to a Twilio function, and I'm going to drop the link for that. Here. Okay. It is our service environment for Node apps. And then we're going to write some JavaScript to handle the bot's responses that it collected. We're going to use memory, which is an Autopilot object. We're going to get the event memory. So when we redirect to this function and access the memory, we're going to create a response object that we're going to be returning. And in JavaScript, of course, everything is an object. We're going to get each answer from memory, collected data. This is like very extremely long. And this is just our function name, make reservation. It is make reservation, Okay, there we go, make reservation. Dot answers, that's the answers array. And then first name. And then that's the question. And then we get the answer, dot answer. Woo. Now we're going to do what all good programmers do. We're just copy and paste code. The question, I think we had 4 questions. 1, 2, 3 questions. Just kidding. Okay. We had name, date, change that one. Party size. That's party size. We had party size, date, name. Oh, I also forgot. We should probably have a time. What time? Time is the name. Not time. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, let party size. So we have all of our answers. And we're going to create a message confirming. And this is where we have our dynamic task because we're adding in what the user said. Confirming reservation for name on date at time for party size number of life forms. And then we're going to make a REST object. Have to make it include actions, which is kind of like what Autopilot expects. It has the actions array. And then we have our say message. Okay. Then we're going to return that in a callback. Oh yeah, null, not null. Grasp object. Okay. Oh, fine, semicolon. Just bugs me. Okay. We're going to save this. And it's a JavaScript and a Twilio function. Time. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you, Kenneth. Oh, wait. Let time. Again, time is just the question, what we call the question. Then we're going to copy this URL. You could also use Twilio functions to respond to messages. I'm going to put this in the URI redirect. Save that. Now we need to switch to the train task and say reservation, make reservation, appointment. I want to eat at this time. Plan ahead. If you have any ideas for what someone could say, let me know as well. Reserve, want to eat at this time, appointment, call to make reservation. Okay. That is close enough. You know what? This is enough for our example app purposes, but you can always add more samples at a different time. Okay. So I'm going to call this number and test it out. 863-624-3697. And I'm looking, I put it in the chat.
Welcome to the Mos Eisley Cantina. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum at Villainy. I can provide you today's specials, connect you with the host, or help you make a reservation.
I'd like to make a reservation, please.
Great. I can help you with that. What's your first name?
Lizzie.
What day would you like your reservation for?
Sunday, October 2nd.
What time would you like your reservation for?
10 in the morning.
For how many humans, Wookiees, droids, Jawas, life forms?
7.
Confirming reservation for Lizzie on October 2nd, 2020 at 10 o'clock for 7 number of life forms.
Okay. That was that. Now, nice. Lol. Humans. Okay. Okay. That was good. Let's make our last task, which is the handoff. Like if the bot gets stuck and you want to talk to a human, talk to the host. Okay. Handoff. We're going to say, hold on, we are connecting you with the cantina owner. And after the say, off method. And this handoff only works if it is a phone call. If you text, it will not make the phone call for you. So that you'd have to make more tasks to handle that. You could probably do an email or text message to the owner though. Method, post request, woo. Channel, again, this is voice. I just think voice is impressive in workshops because it's there's the recognition for you. Okay. We're going to use something called HTML, which is kind of like Twilio functions, but for XML for XML. And we are going to, this is HTML. Again, it's like a serverless environment. So why host something when Twilio can host it for you? And there are different HTML verbs, like response. You can see it kind of on the end, on the side. Response, so this is an already existing phone call. And we're going to do a dial. Let me caller ID, which is the phone number that we purchased. So I'm going to copy and paste that number from the chat. I think spaces are okay, but I'm always like, what if they're not okay? And then I'm going to do a number. Okay. I'm going to put a phone number that's going to be called, close the dial tag, close response tag. Usually forget those. And I'm going to stop sharing for a hot second because I'm going to put in my own phone number because I'm going to call myself. And as much as I would love you all to call me, just want to limit the spam. Not that you're all spam, but okay. So I'm going to share screen again. Going to copy that URL from the Twilio bin, paste that there, save, and then switch to the train task. Oh, these are my favorite ones to train. I want to speak with the owner, which sounds very Karen-like. Not that I'm a Karen. I want to speak to a human, talk to the host, chat with someone who is not a bot. I am stuck. Customer service. Maybe help. Help me. Okay. Now we're going to build model. Okay. I'm going to call again.
Welcome to the Mos Eisley Cantina. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. I can provide you today's specials, connect you with the host, or help you make a reservation.
Could I speak with the host?
Hold on. We are connecting you with the cantina owner.
Okay. And that's just calling myself. But like, preferably that would be someone who's not the person calling. Okay. So that is our bot. We can also go over a few other things as well in the console. You can customize field types, which are kind of like we saw, like the time, the date. But if you want to have your own types, you can add your own here. Style sheet, if you want to customize the voice, if it's a phone bot, there's other voices. I can give you the link. There's like Alexa voices, speech. These are like, for some reason, the bot did not like ask me to clarify something. Usually it's like, when I say Lizzie, it's like, come again, like say that again. And I'm like, fine, I'll give you a fake name then. So it would be like, I didn't get that. What did you say? Okay. Yes, please ask some questions. We have only a few minutes. Okay. Is there a way to hand off the information collected under making the reservation? Yes, there is. I did not do that here for like time purposes, but I will drop the links in Discord or here as well. Okay. I will stop sharing. Wait, no, I'm going to share because I'm still sharing something. I am in Discord. Simulator. Usually you can see what was triggered here. Recommend. So it says the task that was triggered. It says how confident the machine learning backend is that it should be this task, the recommendation task. If that's not the right task, you can always add what was said as a sample to a different task. Oh, thank you, Carolina. Okay, you can look at memory. Memory is empty right now. You would use memory to access it. Dialog info, channels, webhooks. They're just like analyzing more of the user input.